Good evening. Where's Aaron? All right, we're going to go ahead and call this regular meeting of the Board of Education to order at 7 p.m. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm going to ask the coordinator to call the roll.
Ms. Pearson? Mr. Rollins?
Here.
Mrs. McCulloch?
Here.
Mr. Siegel?
Here.
Mr. Connor?
Here.
Ms. Stanford?
Here.
With 5 present, 1 absent, we have a quorum.
Thank you. We'll now take a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to remind everyone as we start this meeting that the mission of the Rockford Public Schools is to collaboratively engage all students in a first-class education for a changing world. And before we go any further, I'd like to thank Connor Childers. He works behind the scenes to produce the board's broadcast, which is streamed on YouTube as well as Comcast Channel 20. I also welcome Superintendent Student Advisory Council Representative Andrea Vasquez from Jefferson High School. Hello, nice to see you again. She did a great job showing me around at the Academy Expo, so wonderful guide. And we're going to hear a little bit from you later under superintendent's comments. Right now we're going to recognize and celebrate the outstanding contributions of our students and staff. Mr.
Good evening, everyone. This evening, we would like to recognize RPS 205 students who are doing extraordinary things. If you are present, please come stand at the front. Alex Crowell, Ruth Matthew, Senacio Morales, Jessica Perez Furman, and Kayla Siolin. Come on up. First, 3 Auburn High School students are semifinalists for the prestigious National Merit Scholarship. Auburn seniors Alex Crowell, Ruth Matthew, and Senacio Morales are all in the Gifted Academy at Auburn High School. These academically talented high school seniors have an opportunity to continue in the competition for some 7,250 National Merit Scholarships worth nearly $28 million that will be offered next spring. Senacio, where's Senacio? Is he here? He's not here? Well, Senacio also earned a 36 on the ACT exam, a perfect score. Woo! This is according to bestcolleges.com. Less than 0.5% of test takers earn a perfect ACT score each year. Less than 6,000 students scored a perfect 36 on the ACT in 2020. Many students at Ivy League and top colleges earn a 33 or higher on the ACT. Great work, Senacio, Alexander, and Ruth.
I'm Alexander Crowell. I'm 18 and I go to Auburn High School.
Hi, I'm Ruth Matthew. I'm also 18 and I go to Auburn High School.
I'm Kayla Siolin. I'm 17 and I go to Guilford High School.
Appreciate your patience. One moment, please. Congratulations to Auburn senior Jessica Perez Furman. Jessica was appointed to the Illinois State Board of Education Student Advisory Council. She also served as Vice President of RPS 205 Superintendent Student Advisory Council. Give her a hand, please. In district athletics, we want to recognize Guilford High School senior Kayla Siolin. Kayla finished second in IHSA Class 2A Girls Golf state tournament earlier this month. She shot 2 under par for the tournament. Kayla was a 4-year varsity player of the RPS 205 co-op. All 4 years, she was named to the all-conference team, and she was regional champion her junior and senior year. Her second place finish also marked her second time qualifying for the state tournament. She also qualified as a junior. Congratulations, Kayla. Next, if you are from Thurgood Marshall soccer team, please come forward. We want to recognize Thurgood Marshall School 5th grade soccer team. The team celebrated championship victory earlier this month for RESL, the Rockford Elementary Soccer League. They defeated Hillman Elementary School soccer team in overtime. we would like to ask each of the players to introduce themselves and tell us your favorite thing about school.
Hi, my name is Pratham, and my favorite thing about school is PE, math, and science.
Hello, my name is Jacob, and my favorite thing about school is math, reading, science, and PE.
Hi, my name is Aiden, and my favorite part about school is math and PE.
Hi, my name is Cap, and my favorite thing about school is PE.
Hi, my name is Daniel, and my favorite thing about school is PE and math.
Hi, my name is Philip, and my favorite thing about school is math and PE.
Hi, my name is Thomas, and my favorite thing about school is math and PE.
Hi, my name is Liam. My favorite thing about school is math, PE, and all the learning possibilities.
All right.
Hello, my name is Drew. My favorite part about school is math, PE, and PLTW.
Hello, my name is Yasmin, and my favorite subject about school is math, science, and PE.
Hi, my name is Addison, and my favorite things about school are executive classes and PE.
Hi, my name is Harper, and my favorite things about school is math, reading, and PE.
Hi, my name is Shlok, and my favorite part of school is doing math and reading.
Hi, my name is Carter, and my favorite subjects in school are math and PE.
Hi, my name is Will, and my favorite part of school is math, PLTW, and reading.
Hi, my name is Olivia, and I love doing math, PE, and social studies.
So my name is Kyle Johnson. This is my wife, Kim Johnson. We also had another coach, Mark, who's not here tonight, but it was just a blast coaching these kids. I never thought I'd be this into coaching elementary school soccer, but just seeing what these kids did this year and come together and work together as a team was awesome.
Yes, just an FYI, this is not trick-or-treat candy. These are shout-out pens. Just
Thank you very much. Is Kayla present? We're moving rather rapidly. Thank you. Let's give all of our students a hand for all of their accomplishments. Thank you. Okay.
All right. We'll give them a second to exit. You know what? We forgot to shout out to the parents for all their support. Whoa! Yay, parents! We're now at the petitions and communication portion of our meeting where we invite the public to make comments. The board will not respond to comments at this time. If it is appropriate, we will be contacted in a timely manner by staff. Each speaker will be allowed no more than 2 minutes. to address the board. It's not appropriate to address individual board members or individual administrators or to discuss matters that would otherwise be confidential in such open meetings. 2 names will be called at one time. The one whose turn it is to speak and the person who will speak next. When you're the second person, we'd appreciate it if you'd come to the front and sit in a vacant chair. That way we will be able to devote the maximum amount of time to public comment. If you look up on the wall to your left, there is a clock. There's 2 digital clocks, actually. One shows the total time allotted to public comment, and the other shows the total time for each speaker, which I will repeat is 2 minutes. We thank you for your interest and for your cooperation with our guidelines. So our first speaker today is Harlan Johnson, followed by Justin Zajac. I think you have to push a button, Mr. Johnson. Somebody's. Thank you. Yep.
No way to make it higher. Okay. A joyful, hopeful history lesson. 60 years ago, Marshall Rosenberg introduced a philosophy of life and education, radical equity. What an impact. Everyone belonged in the Welsh Teacher Development Center. This philosophy could have changed everything had we kept it. No lawsuit, excellent education throughout Rockford, no flight to the suburbs or private schools, greater equity, success for all of our scholars. The book he wrote identifies a strategy to accomplish this philosophy of equity, nonviolent communication, a language of life. He also wrote The Heart of Social Change. I'll read excerpts from The Heart of Social Change beginning on page 19. We need to invest our energies in social change, discovering the difference between radical and peripheral objectives. In Rockford, Illinois, we set up a school in harmony with nonviolent communication principles. Rockford, the most conservative city in the U.S., gave us great experience creating a radically different school. It was rough. I've never seen a city more divided regarding education. On every yard, a sign for or against the school. The political issue for 3 years, we got it going. Academic achievement was way up, broken windows way down, attendance way up. It was racially integrated for the first time. We won a national award for educational excellence. Life did a 3-page spread. You should have that to look at. The next year, 4 school board members fired Superintendent Tom Sheen for starting the school. They closed the school when federal funds ran out. We made a peripheral change in one aspect of the system, not the system itself. We put out fires created by the structures. We didn't change the structures. I'm Harlan Johnson. For 50 years, I've shared nonviolent communication with hundreds of people. In Nagpur, India, I watched Marshall help 350 Buddhists learn nonviolent communication. We've invested 2 minutes tonight. I'll invest more time to share with you individually or together, in person or on Zoom. Call me. Let's set a time. You have my script.
We do. Thank you. And you made it. Good job. Thank you, sir. Justin Zajac, followed by Flossie Horde.
Good evening. I'm Justin Zajac. Today I'm here to speak out against policing in our school district. I speak as a teacher at West Middle School, an alumni of West Middle School and Auburn High School, and a concerned community member. It is inequitable that the current approach to addressing school safety needs has left secondary students among the most surveillanced and policed people in our community. While I have a passionate belief in the importance of public education, I often question my choice to work in a system that so often turns police and security forces on the children it is tasked with the responsibility to nurture. Last year, I voiced my concerns to an administrator about an incident in which a school resource officer was asked to assist in controlling a 12-year-old student with special needs. During the interaction, I witnessed the officer grab the student by the wrist and curse at the student, saying, "You don't want to F with me." These actions triggered the student. The officer knew nothing of the boy's individualized education plan or special needs. Myself and another student were able to usher the student away from the officer and to safety. However, this situation illustrates the risk of employing officers with lethal weapons and lethal tactics to police students. It also raises concern that the assault of Paris Moore by Brad Lauer was not an isolated incident, but rather a shocking symptom of a systemic issue with the way that we are addressing school safety in RPS 205. Addressing student needs is the role of trained and caring educators, not armed police officers. Students cannot be expected to grow academically, socially, or emotionally in an environment where they feel threatened, where they sense a combative force. It is imperative that RPS 205 addresses the equity issues created by a police presence in its schools and replaces that presence with more nurturing and responsive student supports. Thank you.
Flossie Ford, followed by Sky Gia.
Good evening. I'm here to address some of the issues I observed at Auburn High again. I did have a chance to go last week down to Auburn to ensure the principal and staff that I am a part of the West Side community, and I want to do whatever I can to support them and help them. When entering Auburn High School again, I noticed the same rug with the stains on it, and the torn piece was still there. I observed concrete missing from the sidewalk as you walk up the steps. They're crumbling the steps and the side. Also, as I entered into the building, I had a chance to speak to one of the administrators, and while engaging in a conversation with him, sharing my concerns why Auburn looks so much worse on the outer appearance as opposed to Guilford, East, or Jefferson. In the conversation, I kind of like looked at the corner of my eye and I seen something moving down the hallway. And I looked and I said, "Oh, it's a snake." Believe it or not, there was a snake slithering down the hallway. I exited the building, came back in when he took the snake out, and I said, "I bet you I know where it came from. Let's look at the courtyard." We walked up, looked out at the courtyard, debris, grass, weeds, and my question to you is, why would Auburn look in such a dire strait as opposed to Guilford, East, and Jefferson? I understand that the school district has come into a lot of money through the COVID relief fund. So what's wrong with Auburn besides gifted students in Kappa and gifted, as opposed to put money in an area where you need it to make it look like a world-class building where we want world-class education to take place? I'm very disheartened. I think we can do better. And even with that, I applaud the students that came before us today, but I would like to see more African-American students up front.
Thank you. Okay, Sky Giarcia, followed by Ricky Naylor.
I would like to address comments made by members of the board during the last meeting held on October 11th. I heard a seated board rep advise public speakers to talk to the specific principal at whatever school we have concerns with. I'm not sure if any of the board reps reviewed the minutes and footage of the last meeting. However, I'd like to refresh your memory with the fact that a woman came forward about how she shared her concerns with the principal of a local high school, who told her instead to bring them to the RPS 205 Board of Education. So my questions that I have, which can be answered at a later time if any of the RPS 205 board reps care to do so, is what is it going to take for you to use your position in order to advocate in the best interest of RPS 205 students? And will your actions reflect accountability? Will your actions reflect justice? Or will your actions reflect silence in the best interest of not making an enemy out of a systematically racist, oppressive institution like the police? The police who are responsible for inflicting violence upon innocent people. And if that challenge is too intimidating, I would reconsider if a position on this board is for you, because that is what is required to protect the most vulnerable people. It will require that you make a stand against the long-standing relationship public schools have had with local police departments. Thank you.
Thank you. Ricky Naylor, followed by Terry Gano.
Good afternoon. Okay, I just got one issue with this board and with this administration. If you guys don't want to follow the federal law as far as discrimination, other things you guys are doing, then stop taking federal dollars. As simple as that. Now, just refresh you guys. Remember, you got lawyers downtown. You got them on your staff here, too. Have you guys heard of the Equal Education Opportunities Act of 1974? It requires you, in case you guys don't know, it requires you guys to make sure that these laws are being enforced and these opportunities are being enforced. Now, you guys sent me some documentation from the school that just left here, Thurgood Marshall. You got two schools, the elementary school and the middle school. That elementary school, don't get angry. It has 400 students. How many of those students think are black out of 400? 12. That's 3%. But it's not those parents' responsibility to integrate that school. It's yours. That's what the law says. It says right here. It says it requires the school district to take appropriate action to overcome those barriers to getting those black students in that school. And you haven't done that. For the last 5 years, those numbers stayed the same. You got 20 in the middle school and you got 12 in the other school. So that's 3%. What do you think the rate is for gifted students in Illinois? You know that? See? Why do y'all hire these guys and they don't know what these numbers are? That's stupid. Hire these guys, don't know what the numbers are. It's 17%. You guys, 3%. I've had discussion with your guys' equity department. Of course, they don't want to deal with that because they wasn't hired to do that. They was hired to window dress. That should have been the first issue they looked at. I said, I gave the data to them. Did they give it back to y'all and say, you know what? We're doing a horrible job, but we got to do better than that. Did they do that? No.
Thank you, Mr. Naylor. Terry Gano, followed by Tyler Kreider.
According to Ramon Goings in his published works, diversifying a teacher workforce begins by treating such an undertaking as an act of social justice, ensuring that all students see themselves reflected in all aspects of their educational experience. If the goal is to diversify the teaching workforce, the first step is to acknowledge that our schools haven't always been a welcoming or safe place for many of our students. This is especially true for our students of color. How do we invite these same students of color back to work in the same environment that has in many ways failed them? Research shows that by openly examining and critiquing these issues, these students better understand how, by becoming a teacher, they have the power to disrupt the kinds of inequities they personally experience. These students must be reminded that it's because of their lived experiences that they have a greater potential to become the kind of teachers who our community needs the most. Step 2 is to focus on inclusion. To disrupt educational inequalities, district leaders need to evaluate district policies and eliminate those barriers that restrict access to advanced placement courses to our students of color. This would ensure that every interested student, regardless of GPA or other exclusionary criteria, such as their disciplinary records, has access to college-level coursework and a clear pathway to teaching. Another effort is to portray teaching as an important and noble profession, one that provides an opportunity for these students to engage in social justice and to combat the negative perceptions of teaching and help them understand how and why teachers of color play an important role in the lives of the education of all students.
Thank you. Tyler Kreider, followed by Christina Tobler.
Hello, my name is Tyler from Ending Violent Crime. It has been 2 weeks since the last school board meeting. A lot of people expressed how they felt about a school resource officer body slamming a 14-year-old child who was under 5 foot tall, weighing under 120 pounds, causing the child to have permanent brain damage. Since the last meeting we had, I have passed out over 100 flyers out by going door to door, and even went to grocery stores on Charles Street that let me pass out flyers to their customers. I've talked to people and gathered how people feel about the fact that you've covered this up for over a year now, and community members are absolutely disgusted with how you run your board. They are also disgusted that punishment for not being in class is permanent brain damage. I am 35. I was a child once myself. I have ADHD, and when I was a child, I was difficult to control. I even skipped class a few times, but when I did get caught, my punishment was either in-school suspension or after-school detention. Never once was I body slammed into a cement floor, causing permanent brain damage. We told you this the last time, and you asked for our help, and then we give you recommendations, but then you sit there and don't listen to our recommendations. We can't help you if you don't help us. There is no excuse period for what the school resource officer did, and we taxpayers have a say in how our money is used and what kind of treatment our children should get. We have to fight for our children because obviously you won't until it affects your child. You sit there and justify this and won't do nothing. You only listen to us once things have gone too far. It's too late. We demand accountability and hope the lawsuit brought against RPS 205, the school resource officer, the assistant principal serves you a lesson. This is going to be money taken away from the school that could go to providing free lunch to all students or paying your staff a living wage so they don't have to be on welfare, so they cannot struggle as bad, or hiring mental health. You could also hire more mental health counselors in schools. We have a right to be mad. I am furious. I know everyone in this room is upset. We have the right to feel that way. School's supposed to be safe for our kids. Deuces.
Christina Tobler, followed by Joe Lessner.
Hi, my name is Christina Tobler. I just want to bring awareness to food allergies and stop serving fish at our schools. I suffer from extreme allergy to shellfish and fish. My son has missed 4 days of school already because I get a reaction if he goes to school, he's exposed to it. I spent a week in ICU due to it, him being exposed. Peanuts is the #1 allergy, food allergy. It's already banned in the schools. Why not ban the second one, which is fish? That is the second most common food allergy. There's different types of allergic reactions that people can get, such as myself. My son can't even be in the air around it. It takes 24 hours for the smell to be out of the school. My son misses school. It takes 48 hours to 72 hours to get out of someone's body. And I'm asking you guys to please take into consideration stop serving fish, because my son has missed 4 days of school and another one's coming this Friday. And it's just one simple ingredient to remove from the school menu. And like I said, I mean, schools are not educated. And I don't know how educated you guys are on allergic reactions. I carry 2 EpiPens with me in my purse. I have one in my car. My mother have one. My entire extended family and immediate family has changed their eating habits because I almost died. And that was from third-hand contamination. My husband ate it. I seen him 24 hours later. I just touched his arm. I was in ICU. So I'm asking you guys to just please remove fish so my son can get his education at Marshall, and I don't have to worry about my son coming home and possibly killing me and putting me in ICU.
Thank you. Our last speaker is Joe Lessner.
Good afternoon. My name is Joe Lessner, and my oldest son attends RPS 205. At the beginning of the school year, my wife and I went through my son's school year calendar, and we were both disappointed with the removal of Veterans Day from the school year calendar. Every governmental entity, including this one, exists because of the sacrifice of our veterans and the decision to dishonor our veterans by removing this day in which we honor them is ignorant and offensive. It's ignorant because this board's decision to remove Veterans Day demonstrates it does not understand and appreciate that it exists because of our veterans' sacrifices. It's offensive because during a time when our veterans are dying by suicide at a rate twice as much as the general public due to depression and mental health illnesses, you have decided to dishonor these very honorable men and women. You are part of the problem, not not the solution. I tell my son on a regular basis to make a good decision. If you make a good decision, you live a good life. If you make bad decisions, you live a bad life. As a board, you have made a poor decision removing Veterans Day from the school calendar. And as a result, my son will miss a day of education. My son will miss a day of education because he will be making good decisions on November 11th, 2022. He will be with his grandfather, who is the commander of an American Legion post. He will be learning why it is important to honor the history and sacrifice of our veterans. My son will miss a day of education because this board failed to use good judgment and common sense when it created the school year's calendar. This board demonstrated the same lack of good judgment and common sense when it decided to give my 5-year-old son a day off so he can vote. I pray that you use good judgment and common sense in the future so that my child does not have to miss school days in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone for taking the time to come here and share your opinions. We're going to move to our next item on the agenda, and that's the opportunity for board members to comment. Are there any board members who would like to speak? Mr. Siegel.
Thank you. As always, I am grateful for the people who came out to speak, to voice their thoughts, their ideas, and the hope is that you're giving us guidance on how we can do our work better, and hopefully we will take what we can and actually affect better outcomes for our students and for our community. Nothing ever progresses quite as fast as we want, right? The great feed, bam, it's done. It'd also be great if we could hear the progress, see the progress, feel the progress. But it doesn't always happen. But that doesn't mean that progress isn't occurring. Even if it's progress that makes an organization feel uncomfortable, maybe it's progress that is very challenging and just moves very slowly. We're a big organization. It's hard to turn a ship in a canal. But we are listening. Will we give you the outcomes that you want tonight, tomorrow, next week? I hope so, but probably not. But we're working. And I'm just here to say I appreciate that you're coming here. You're trying to hold us accountable. That's your right, it's your responsibility as a citizen. Thank you for doing it.
We will hold you responsible.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah? Wait, I got one more thing. So,
Paris Moore's life was disrupted. Paris Moore's life was permanently altered.
we have one more thing to say, and then you'll not have to hear me anymore tonight.
Incredible, ridiculous amount. $1.3 million for police services.
President McCulloch.
Would you please continue, Mr. David?
No.
President McCulloch.
That's what we have. Grab hours and cost $6.
Can you please walk the gentleman out the door?
$1.3 million.
Can you please?
Let us speak.
There's a period of time for speaking, and he had an opportunity to fill out a card and share his. And so right now the time is for board members to speak. So I'm going to give Mr. Siegel the floor back again, please. So please. Mr. Siegel, would you please proceed?
Don't say you're working on it. Show us. Be transparent. Do something. You hired a
other board member who would like to make comments?
You know, I actually would like to acknowledge. In the room tonight, we do have our newest board members, somebody from the community who is excited to step forward and present herself as somebody who is going to serve our students, serve our community. So I would like to take this opportunity to recognize Ms. Tiana McCall. She interviewed for a position for the board last week. Wonderful interview. I am super excited to have a very smart, very thoughtful, very conscientious woman joining our board. So I am very excited to introduce Tiana McCall. We will see her later on this evening, seated just down the way.
Miss Denise Pearson, would you please?
Yes, thank you so much. And to the community, thank you so very much for coming out on tonight. I certainly appreciate all of the comments. It is not going unheard. As I stated several months ago, the safety of our children are always number one. Whether it be by the hand of their peer or by an adult, they deserve respect and dignity. I said that from the beginning of my seating on this board. Education is number one. I appreciate, and those of you who have board experience understand that there is closed session and there is open session. There are some things you can speak of and some things you cannot. So due to confidentiality and legal reasons, some things just simply cannot be spoken in public about. But that does not mean someone is not advocating behind closed doors. So it's really important that we understand the process and that we do things with dignity and respect. I sat here very quietly and I listened to the community, but it is so important that we respect each other if we're going to get anything done. So yelling and screaming and speaking out and being disrespectful is not productive. And I'm going to ask security to do their job. So I appreciate each of you all, but we still have to work together, and I understand that Subdistrict A is a very challenging subdistrict, but you know what? I need your help, and we need to first start with mutual respect and respecting one another. And if we want to get anything done, yelling and screaming and being disrespectful is not going to work. It is not going to work. And I repeat, I continue to advocate for our students and making our students a priority. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to move on. Yes. Is there any reason that the people who are, I mean, you all had your opportunity to speak. And by the way, nobody can hear you over the airwaves without a microphone, which is why we like to have you up at the podium so that the public can hear you as well. This goes on TV. So, and so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the superintendent's comments.
Thank you. I would like to move on to the superintendent's comments, and I would like to turn it over to our student representative, Ms. Andrea Vasquez. The floor is yours. This is an opportunity for you to share your perspective. Thank you for serving as a student representative.
Well, I'm glad that you liked the tour. It was really fun and entertainment in the expo, and I'm really thankful that I got the opportunity to be there. Also, it's super crazy that I was in that podium last year representing Jefferson TV, and now I'm in this side, so I'm thankful for that. Anyway, I'm Andrea Vasquez, and I'm a senior at Jefferson High School. First and foremost, I want to thank the board for having me here, and I appreciate the hard work that you guys do for us. I've been with RPS 205 since kindergarten at Barber and Jefferson. Switching schools was difficult as I had to make new friends and adapt to a brand new school environment. Seeing how everything changed over the years is really impressive. One of the board meetings, it was brought up to my attention that students don't come to school because they are being bullied. And it's true, but I haven't seen bullying for a while. What I've seen, however, is a lot of cyberbullying. Some students don't want to come to school because they are mentally tired. Being a 14 to 18-year-old is hard trying to learn new things to become an adult. Some students are working at the age of 15 to help those parents in need. With the student-supported EBT program, a lot of local families benefits, including my own. As a student, I think parents should be there for their kids, seeing who they're hanging out with, asking how was their school, being their friend, and also having those limits to teach them while they're growing up. There are so many resources provided, though the school and district, but many students and families do not know where to look for them and how to access them. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Andrea has attended 3 board meetings this month, and a new student representative will take over. Thank you for your service to the district. I also want to enter into the record a proclamation on behalf of the state of Illinois respecting and providing the great work of principals, and this is, in fact, a celebration of Principal Appreciation Week. And with that, I'll turn the floor back over to Board President McCulloch.
Thank you, and thank you for your comments. We're now on to items that proceed through the Governance Committee. Board Policy 7.30 on student residence. Is there a motion and a second to approve that item?
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing no lights, I'll ask the coordinator to call the roll.
Ms. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mrs. McCulloch?
Yes.
Mr. Siegel?
Yes.
Mr. Connor?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We're now on to the consent portion of our meeting, which includes the items previewed by the board committee chairs during the committee of the whole meeting. They include the following: payroll, accounts payable, purchase orders, air travel, financial results from September of 2022, monthly cash and investment report from September of 2022, the construction pay log request, the RPS managed work change order, the ESSER RPS managed work change order, the roofing maintenance repair contract IFB 2305, the Sterling Holly garage renovations IFB 2319, Barber School roof replacement IFB 2321, door replacement at Kennedy and Haskell schools IFB 2322, tennis court resurfacing at Gilbert and Auburn high schools, which was rebid as IFB 2325, the asbestos abatement at Lathrop, Spring Creek, Bloom, and Guilford schools, which is IFB 2328, the recurring contract with Cintas Uniform Rental, and the addendum to the Youth Services Network Agreement. It also includes the consent items from the Governance Committee, which are the meeting minutes from 10/18/22 special board meeting and the 10/11/22 and 10/01/22 board retreat, the contract purchase orders, IASB resolutions, the Workers' Compensation Settlement Agreement, and the Freedom of Information log. Is there a motion and a second to approve the consent items?
So moved. Second.
Are there any consent items board members wish to have pulled for separate consideration?
7-0.
Okay.
8C.
Okay. Lost my pen. Any others?
I'm sorry, Ms. McCulloch, you're not at the discipline, correct?
No, ma'am. But thank you. No, we're just doing the consent items. And which includes the IASB resolutions. So right now I have 7-0, and I have 8, what was the other one? C. Thank you. Okay, so then we have both of those. Are there any others board members wish to have pulled? If not, I'll ask the coordinator to call the rolls on all the rest of the items that were not pulled, please.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mrs. McCulloch?
Yes.
Mr. Siegel?
Yes.
Mr. Connor?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
Ms. Pearson?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously.
I'll take letter 7O, the asbestos abatement at Lathrop, Spring Creek, Bloom, and Guilford schools. I need a motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
My only question is, how many more buildings do we have to abate asbestos?
Mr. Siegel, we have throughout the district our older buildings, whether it's flooring or piping insulation joints. There are several buildings that still have a form of asbestos through them.
So when we're getting an asbestos abatement for a building, we're not necessarily getting all of the asbestos out. We're attacking a particular, like a duct wrap or flooring or.
Correct. In this case, we're addressing flooring. In some cases, we're addressing pipe insulation, where we're either removing or tying into existing piping and ductwork.
All right. And do we have some sort of an assessment of just how much more asbestos we have?
Yeah, we do, and I can share that with the board.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Would the coordinator please call the roll?
Mrs. McCulloch?
Yes.
Mr. Siegel?
Yes.
Mr. Connor?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
Ms. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. I will take a motion and a second to approve the recommendations by the IASB on the resolutions to be presented at the Tri-Conference.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Ms. Pearson.
So the resolutions, just for clarity, we will not be voting on that the Assembly did not adopt, correct?
Please repeat your question. I'm sorry.
We will not be voting on what the Assembly did not adopt.
That is correct.
Okay.
What we're voting on right now is to support the recommendations of the committee, the IASB committee, on the resolutions that they do support. The ones that they do not support adopting, we will not be
voting on.
Correct.
But we just wanted clarity. Thank you.
Sure. Any further conversation? So a positive response means that we will, at the Tri-Conference, follow the recommendations of the committee to support those resolutions and amendments that they recommend adopting. A negative means that you do not. Would the coordinator please call the roll?
Mr. Siegel?
Yes.
Mr. Connor?
No.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
Ms. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mrs. McCulloch?
Yes.
The motion passes with 5 yeses and 1 no.
We're now at the closed session consent agenda, which includes the following: the HR organizational report and addendum, and the following student discipline items. H0007X23, the expulsion is held in abeyance contingent upon the expulsion and abeyance agreement for the remainder of the 2022-2023 school year through the first semester of the 23-24 school year, which can be terminated early upon the successful completion of the refresh program. H0008X23 is expelled for the remainder of the 22-23 school year through the first semester of the 23-24 school year. H0009X23, the expulsion is held in abeyance, contingent upon expulsion and abeyance agreement for the remainder of the 22-23 school year through the first semester of the 23-24 school year. H0010X23 is expelled for the remainder of the 2022-2023 school year through the first semester of the 23-24 school year. It also includes supporting the closed session consent items that are EIAs, which are the following: B0001, D0002, P0011, P0012, P0013, P0014, P0015, P0016, P0017, P0018, P0019, P0020, P0021, P0022, P0023, T0003. I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve the closed session consent items.
So moved.
Second, but I need to raise a point of order. I'm not sure how to do that. So item, 11B has a different number on board docs than it does on Mrs. McCulloch's printed list. So can we make sure that we've got the right number, please?
What's that?
So she read D002-23, but board docs says D001 or 000123. Can we just make sure she read it correctly? She did?
No. We went 2 or 1?
It says 00. What is 001?
Okay. So I'll make a correction to what I read, and that will be, thank you, Mr. Browlins, D0001, and that's for the EIA 11B as in boy. Any other? I'm still waiting for the second.
Well, I did second it.
Okay. Are there any of these closed session consent items board members wish to have pulled for separate consideration? Mr. Pearson?
Yes, 10B and 10D.
I'm sorry, D as in dog?
B as in boy, D as in donut.
Donut, okay. Anyone else?
Did you call the roll on the items not pulled? We didn't call. No, she was correct. Okay.
I'm correct.
Okay, Laura.
Okay. All right. So we have 2 that we pulled, and we've had the first. We've had a first and second. So we will take a vote on those items not pulled, and there is no discussion because it is closed session. Coordinator, please call the roll.
Mr. Connor?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
Ms. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mrs. McCulloch?
Yes.
Mr. Siegel?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Ms. Pearson, shall I take those together or separately?
You can take them together.
I'll take a motion in a second for item 10B, H008X, and item 10D, H0010X. Wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, 8X and 10X.
So moved.
Second.
And no discussion. Will the coordinator please call the roll?
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
Ms. Pearson?
No.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mrs. McCulloch?
Yes.
Mr. Siegel?
Yes.
Mr. Connor?
Yes.
The motion passes with 5 yeses, 1 no.
Thank you. We are now on to the new member oath of office. So I'd like to welcome Ms. Tiana McCall to come up, and I think, where shall we be doing this? Oh, okay. While you make your way up there, I'm going to ask for a motion in a second to approve the Subdistrict C selection administration of the oath of office to Ms. Tiana McCall.
So moved.
Second.
Are there any questions or discussion? We'll call the roll on that, please.
Ms. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mrs. McCulloch?
Yes.
Mr. Siegel?
Yes.
Mr. Connor?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We'll proceed with the swearing in of our new board member. Let's see. So you've got a mic there. And you also have a copy as we read through it together?
Yes.
Okay. I,
I,
Tiana McCall.
Do solemnly
Do
swear
solemnly swear
or affirm that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of the member of Board of Education
the duties of the office of a member of the Board of Education
of Rockford School District 205,
of Rockford School District 205,
Winnebago, Boone Counties, Illinois,
Winnebago, Boone Counties, Illinois,
in accordance with the Constitution of the United States,
in accordance with the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the laws of the State of Illinois,
and the laws of the State of Illinois,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I further swear that I shall respect taxpayers' interests by serving as a faithful protector of the school district's assets,
that I shall respect taxpayers' interests by serving as a faithful protector of the school district assets.
Don't lower property taxes.
I shall encourage and respect the free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others who seek or hearing before the board, while respecting the privacy of students and employees.
I shall encourage and respect the free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others who seek a hearing before the board while respecting the policy of students and employers.
I shall recognize that a board member has no legal authority as an individual and that decisions can be made only by a majority vote at a public board meeting.
I shall recognize that a board member has no legal authority as an individual and that decisions can be made only by a majority vote at a public board meeting.
I shall abide by majority decisions of the board while retaining the right to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels.
I shall abide by the majority decisions of the board while retaining the right to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels.
As part of the Board of Education, I shall accept the responsibility for my role in the equitable and quality education of every student in the school district.
As a part of the Board of Education, I shall accept the responsibility for my role in equitable and quality education in every student in the school district.
I shall foster with the board extensive participation of the community, formulate goals, define outcomes, and set the course for Rockford School District number 205 in Winnebago and Boone Counties, Illinois.
I shall foster with the board extensive participation of the community, formulate goals, define outcomes, and set the course for Rockford School District 205, Winnebago, and Boone Counties, Illinois.
I shall assist in establishing a structure and an environment designed to ensure all students have the opportunity to attain their maximum potential through a sound organizational framework.
I shall assist in establishing a structure and environment designed to ensure all students have the opportunity to attain their maximum potential through a sound organizational framework.
I shall strive to ensure a continuous assessment of student achievement and all conditions affecting the education of our children in compliance with state law.
I shall strive to ensure a continuous assessment of student achievements in all conditions affecting the education of our children in compliance with state law.
I shall serve as education's key advocate on behalf of students in our community schools to advance the vision for Rockford School District 205, Winnebago, Boone Counties, Illinois.
I shall serve as education's key advocate on behalf of students in our community, schools, to advance the vision of Rockford School District 205, Winnebago, Boone Counties, Illinois.
And I shall strive to work together with the district superintendent to lead the school district toward a fulfilling the vision the board has created, fostering excellence for every student in the areas of academic skills, knowledge, citizenship, and personal development.
And I shall strive to work together with the district superintendent to lead the school district toward fulfilling the vision of the board has created, fostering excellence for every student in the areas of academic skills, knowledge, citizenship, and personal development.
Thank you, Ms. McCall. And I'm happy to have you come join us at your seat at the table. And we have a name tag for you, which I should have somebody put on. You want to come along here and shake hands with all the board members? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Here it is. Do you want? I'm going to invite Ms. McCall if she has any comments. And if not, that's fine. It's not in the script or anything, but I just wanted to give you an opportunity.
Thank you for the opportunity to serve. I strive to do my best, as I stated in the oath. I will be a great advocate for Subdistrict C, and I welcome anybody to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate your being here and stepping up, and look forward to working with you. This is an opportunity for any other business, new business, agenda recommendations, or board member action steps that we'd like to discuss. Does any board member have anything new to bring to the board or put on an agenda? Or okay, seeing no lights. And we don't have any action steps from the meeting. I'll go ahead and ask, if there are no further comments, that I'll take a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Yay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Same sign? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.
What happened to Brad Lauer?